let's all play What's My Line?
Hello, everybody.
Hi there, Larry.
Hi, Mel.
Hi, Larry.
I think my favorite song that you ever wrote is one I bet you a lot of people don't know. Is County Fair.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beauty.
You're older than you look, Larry.
Ah, yes. I don't think
County
that's so
Fair.
funny, you wise. Listen, we have two marvelous challengers today and a terrific mystery guest who's going to come later. Right now, with our first challenger, enter and sign in, please. Robert J. George. Where are you from, Mr. George?
Sierra Madre, California.
Sierra Madre, California. In addition to his regular job as a businessman panel, Robert George performs an occasional function at the White House in Washington, D.C. We will show the audience just what that function is. You're trying to find out what he does at the White House from time to time, and we'll start with Meredith.
Mr. George, does your regular occupation correspond with the function that you perform at the White House?
Are they related?
Yes.
They are?
No.
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 1 down and 9 to go. Mel?
No.
Is it yes or is it a no?
It's a no.
Okay, no. Mr. George, what you do at the White House, when you do it, does it have anything to do with the realm, in a broad sense of the word, of entertainment?
Yes.
I see. Do you actually do a performance of some kind?
Yes.
Is it a performance that involves singing in any way, shape, or form?
Sometimes.
I see.
When it does, though, Mel, it isn't really a part of that function, I don't think, and so we'll give you a no on that, just to keep from confusing you. And it's 2 down and 8 to go, Arlene.
I noticed that you were very dapper and light on your feet as you came in. Mr. George, do you do something with your feet?
Oh, other than walk around.
I mean, I know you don't kick anybody, but is there any little sort of dancey thing that you do?
If there is, it's fun and games. It doesn't really have anything to do with...
Oh, it doesn't have anything to do with what he does?
Yeah, no. But he would know whether or not he did it, so it's a qualified yes and push on.
All right. Do you perform this at a specific kind of function?
Yes.
Is it a function that at which the president is present?
Yes.
Is there anything tricky about it?
Oh, no.
Oh, I didn't mean that unkindly.
That's 3 down and 7 to go. Soupy.
When you perform this thing, Mr. George, are you wearing something other than what you're wearing now?
Oh, yes.
Are you ever in a costume of some kind?
Yes.
Is it the kind of thing that happens like it's a seasonal thing?
Sure is.
Would this season be one of merriment and jolly and good times and all that kind of jazz?
You mean like Easter?
Right,
No,
Soupy?
No. I was thinking more around Christmas time.
Yes.
Would you sort of be the White House official Santa Claus?
That's what he is.
Sure, I thought Arlene was going to get it.
And I tell you how I got that.
How did you get that?
Because Mr. George came in, he was so depressed.
He's got buttons on his tie. That's the first time I ever saw with buttons on it, Mr. George.
Well, thank you, Larry.
How did all this come about that you were the presidential Santa Claus?
Well, in 1956, the late President Eisenhower appointed me as the official presidential Santa Claus at the White House, and I had the great pleasure of the Eisenhower and Nixons that are married together today, delivering their toys at that time. And I'll never forget, they were quite small then.
Now, is that a full-time business for you now?
Oh, yes, full-time. I have 6 big mechanical sleighs, 142 feet long, 28 states I cover. It's got music, tape recorders, loudspeakers, and I just enjoy making people happy, Larry.
That's a good way to do it. Now, what do you do at the White House celebration?
Well, I take part in the Christmas pageant of peace, which, is a big lighting of the tree ceremony, and then right afterwards, I have the pleasure of being with the president and the missus, any grandchildren grandchildren or children, we have a little snack and deliver a few gifts to them and have lots of fun.
That's marvelous, and probably the first time they were ever referred to as the president and the missus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larry. It's a real pleasure.
Let's see what you're going to do about this next challenger. Would our next challenger enter and sign in, please? Bert Gold. Bert. Where you from, Bert? Where you from, Bert?
New York City. It's not perfect, but it's the greatest.
All right, panel, some of you may know Bert Gold. He's an artist who does much of the graphic artwork on What's My Line. What you do not know is that Bert Gold has another line which is connected with the product, and we will now show the audience what that product is. And I suppose I should tell you further that Bert's product is itself a work of art. And with that inside information, let's start with Arlene Francis.
Bert's product is a work of art. Is it an inanimate work of art?
I would have to say broadly, yes, it is inanimate.
Or even narrowly, you could say that.
I see. Is it something that you sculpt in any way?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Soupy.
Is it anything that, well, what are we looking for? What he does?
Mm-hmm. What his
Other
other
than-
line is.
What his other line is.
What his other, right, what his other work of art is.
Do you work with paints in this, Bert?
No. Well, I have to say, in a certain way.
In a way.
In a way, yes.
In a broad general area, he works with paints, and that's 2.5 and 7.5 to go.
Is this something that we see that we would see every day?
Perhaps not every day, but you surely would see it frequently.
2 down, 8 to go. Not every day. Meredith?
It's a work of art. Can we assume that that's in the broad sense of the word? In other words, it would not be in a museum work of
It
art?
would not be in a museum.
Okay. Is it something that, in addition to appreciating, that I could use, that would be useful to me?
Useful? What does that mean? Useful?
I tell you, Meredith, I can think of an occasion under which, the circumstances of which it might be useful, but not on television. 3 down and 7 to go. Mel?
Okay. Is this, that's kind of interesting. Is it something that one might wear?
Yes.
Yes.
And do I assume from what our pal Larry has said that it is not something that you would ordinarily see worn on the outside of your body? Perhaps it's an undergarment of some kind?
You may not assume that if that's what you're saying. How is
4
that
down and
expressed?
6
It
to
was
go.
Expressed backwards.
Yeah, you would ordinarily see it on the outside of your body.
You would see it on the outside. Okay.
So, Arlene?
Is it worn mostly by women?
Well, perhaps, but not necessarily.
Mostly, would you say?
I would say mostly, yes.
Mostly it's worn by women? Isn't that funny? I would say mostly it wasn't. So let's make that 5.5.
Well, when it is worn by whoever mostly wears it, is it worn from the waist up?
Could be.
Yes, not necessarily, but yes.
It could also be seen from the waist down.
Could be.
Yeah.
Is it worn at a specific time?
No.
5 down and 5 to go. Soupy?
But it is worn above the waist and worn. Is it indeed something like it is a piece of wearing apparel?
6 down and 4 to go. Meredith?
Boy, I'm really confused. It's something that you wear, but it's not clothing, correct?
Correct.
That's right.
Let's see. Gosh, is it any type of jewelry?
No.
7 down and 3 to go. Mel?
Crazy question. Since it is not obviously a standard kind of piece of wearing apparel, is it something that has to do with, this is a far out one, life-saving equipment of any kind? Like,
No.
No, but that's an interesting idea. 8 down and 2 to go. Arlene?
Is it anything in the world of zippers and buttons and things like that?
No.
9 down and 1 to go. Soupy, you want to make a wild stab into this?
Yes. Oh, I don't have any idea.
Then I will tell you. He makes artificial tattoos. And is it possible that you are wearing such a garment now?
Indeed I am. Are you surprised?
Yes. Can we see it?
You must understand that we refer to them by their honest, true name, which is cockamamie. That's what they are, and that's a cockamamie. I don't know if you can see it.
Can you get a close shot of that? Lloyd, there it is.
Why would someone want to have an artificial
Oh, well, that's
tattoo?
become a big new thing.
Well, because you can change your mind. If you have a real one, that's rather a definite commitment, isn't it?
Right, and if you're
So
going,
you
with,
get-
if you're going with a girl named Mary, and all of a sudden Mary is supplanted by Susie, boy, it's beautiful.
I've seen that's become a new big thing, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's becoming important. This, in fact, this particular one is Dave Bowie, who is a new rock and roll star, and it was done for RCA as a promotion, a record promotion.
That's
I remember
amazing.
using a lot
What's it
of
made of? Vegetable dye?
It's made of 5 layers of vegetable paint, actually, silk screened on.
Isn't
And
that
it's, of course, it's organic material. It's non-toxic. It's healthful. No, I wouldn't say it's healthful. It's not unhealthful.
How long does it stay?
It can
on the body?
stay 3 or 4 days if you like, or then you scrub it off.
Can you wash it off before 3 or 4 days?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, well, I know you're anxious to scrub up.
The name Cockamamie, and the company is Pick Type Company.
Okay, thanks for doing that. Panel, are you all in the dark?
Yeah.
Then would our mystery guest enter and sign in, please? All right, panel. We'll go one question at a time. You have 2 minutes, and we'll start with Soupy.
That was a marvelous ovation, mystery guest, is because we would find your name in the entertainment sections of the newspaper.
Oui.
That's a we, Meredith?
Yes, mystery guest, are you primarily known for your work on the stage?
Nein.
Mel?
So you're German, eh, mystery guest? Mystery guest, are you currently appearing in a local boîte here in Manhattan?
Nicht.
Arlene?
Niet.
Niet.
Now she's Russian.
Okay.
Are you best known for your work in motion pictures?
Oui.
That's a we. Soupy?
She is best known. Huh?
Yep. For movies.
For movies. Do you have a movie that is playing on right now in New York?
No.
That's a no. Meredith?
Are you kind of equally as well known as a singer?
That's hard to answer.
Well, are you known as a singer in addition to being known as an actress?
Comme ci, comme ça.
Mel?
Comme ci, comme ça. May I assume that this, without being ungallant about it, that you are a young lady, perhaps over 30?
Boy, it's a day for it, isn't it? Arlene?
Well, wait a minute. What was the answer?
C'est possible.
No, c'est possible.
It's possible. 30 seconds. Arlene?
Now, wait a minute. Is it possible that I could have seen you in a fashionable New York restaurant this very week, but you didn't see me?
How would she know?
Well, because if I saw her and she didn't, the person I'm thinking of didn't see me.
Then
So
how
I'm
would
just
you-
wondering if she was in a fashionable restaurant in New York this week.
Well, I can't imagine her at Rikers, so why don't we give you a yes on that and go on to Soupy? Soup?
Were you in a were you in a Broadway show that closed not too long ago that was made into a movie?
Yeah, she was. Who do you have in mind?
I had Gloria Swanson.
Wrong.
No, wait a minute.
Arlene?
Are you related to the wife of a man who was a great contributor to this program for many, many years?
Vous avez raison, madame.
Vous êtes Gégé Roger!
Je suis José Roger. You know, I could have bet anything that Arlene would be the one to guess me. She always has.
Well, you know, that's nice for me. But, you know, I did see
really
you going
always have.
into 21 the other night, and I was in another room, and I did see you, didn't I? You did go into
Thanks
21.
for passing my house and not coming in and saying hello.
Ah, that's why you guys weren't at the chock full of nuts.
Thanks a
I waited
lot.
and waited for you. Nobody
Thanks a
showed
lot.
up. Listen, Ginger, you're here. Why are you in New York now? Are you working on something?
Well, actually, I am. You know, I'm doing a few things theatrically, but otherwise, I'm a fashion consultant for J.C. Penney.
Really?
For the J.C. Penney Company, yeah. And it's really marvelous because I have the opportunity of going from town to town and talking to various people, being on television.
But I didn't know that they had a fashion department in there.
Oh, we're very, very fashion conscious, I must say. The J.C. Penney Company is very fashion conscious, and
Is it that you have brought anything to show us today?
Oh, my goodness, no. I was going to tell you that actually I have. I've brought you some very beautiful fashions from J.C. Penney, from some fall and winter things. And, you know, after all, we're very fashion-oriented at this point, and our image is quite wonderful, I think.
Terrific.
So
Can we
I
see
brought
it?
some things for you to see.
Okay, Lloyd,
and,
can we open up the curtain and let's see them?
And yes, let's do that, because I think you ought to see what we have for fall and winter.
Oh, look at this. Now, who is this and what is she wearing?
Well, this is Corinne, and gee, I think she looks great in our pantsuit ensemble, and that's a short cropped suede jacket, and it has terrific style, and it can be worn with so many things. And here we see it with plaid trousers and a turtleneck sweater, which can just go about anywhere. Did you notice that the trousers have a high waistband and are cuffed? Wait till we see the cuff. There it is, sort of reminiscent of ones Fred Astaire used to wear. Remember?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you hadn't danced with those.
Yeah.
That's marvelous. Thank you very much, Corinne. And
Who is Kay here, Kay here is wearing some, well, you know, pastels are turning out to be the big fashion news this winter, and Kay's wearing one of the softest, prettiest combination. It's a pale blue jersey shirt topped by a soft, fuzzy sweater in blue and white, and coupled with flared pants in gabardine.
That's really nice. Is that an Angora sweater?
Yep, all of it. From top to bottom is Angora and those gabardine trousers. Listen, do you believe that this entire outfit costs only $31?
Only if you say so.
$31. Isn't that true, Corinne? Absolutely. Isn't that
Okay,
great?
thank you. I think that's Kay, and thank you.
Okay, I beg your pardon. I meant Kay.
Who is this now?
Oh, you're
It's
keeping me
Christine.
honest with names. Now, this is another instance of J.C. Penney's fashion value in this hooded boot-length coat in two mock-believe furs, seal and lynx, which you see in the trim, and it's kind of toasty warm, isn't it? It looks.
That's marvelous that they don't use real fur skin
No, isn't
anymore.
that
They
great?
use those. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
And it's just as warm?
Just as important, yeah, and just as warm, I think, is just as, you know, and to think all of those lovely little animals don't have to sacrifice their lives for this great
That's
stuff.
terrific. Thank you,
Yeah, this
for
is
Christine.
handmade material.
That's my comment.
And now, this is for evening. Renee here is wearing some very glamorous halter-necked palazzo pajamas and with a little black velvet bolero edged in gold braid. And they should make any occasion something very special, I think.
That's really marvelous.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you very much. And thank you very much.
Okay, listen, will you stay with the Ginger? Because we have to
I'd be
break
happy
away
to.
for a moment.
Yes,
We'll be
indeed.
right back after this message. Don't go away.
All right.
Listen, we're late and we have to go. Goodbye, everybody. Ginger, thank you for being
Mary,
here.
thank you so much.
What's My Line is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. This program was recorded.